to the Amateurs Podcast. We're back in our studio of sorts. This is episode 17, and we're finally getting into our NBA previews, even though the season is already underway, about a week or so when this video goes up. We're going to do it tier list style, just like we did for college basketball. We're going to have our 5 tiers, pretty interesting names. We have Stone Cold Semi-Locks. So these guys are going to make the conference semi-final.
Yeah, at least the semis.
Yeah. Or, I mean, shoot. I think, for me, is the finals of the Eastern Conference. We're doing Eastern Conference today. The second tier is the semi-pretender contender. So, you know, they have a chance to make a run in the playoffs, but
with a trade, it could be different.
Yeah, but contending for a championship, they might be a pretender. Then we have our third tier. We have play-in potential. Self-explanatory. Fourth tier, we have the We Suck division. These guys are not good. And finally, our fifth tier is the Capture the Flag tier. These guys are tanking for Cooper Flag. And you have anything else to say?
No, that's it.
Without further ado, let's get right into it. So, as we said, alphabetically by division, we'll start off with the Atlantic Division. The first team is, unfortunately, the Boston Celtics.
Who knew?
The first team on our video, and also the first team going in the Stone Cold Semi-Locks. I could write it in now. They're going to be in the Eastern Conference champs.
Yeah, I mean, they may not win the Eastern Conference Finals, but that'd be a surprise. It'd be a surprise if they didn't repeat. They've got some holes, which is crazy to say.
What are their holes?
Well, number one is health at the center position.
Yeah, but yes, Porzingis, yeah.
Porzingis is still out. Horford is old as dirt.
Mm-hmm.
I went to college with his dad. And so that tells you how old I am. And then I hate their depth. I know people are like, oh, Peyton Pritchard. I really don't like their depth.
I agree with you. But it's also like, so when I made my rankings, I tried for it to not be influenced by the 2 or 3 games that had happened so far.
Yeah.
But seeing what they did to the Knicks without their ideal roster in Porzingis,
yeah,
it was like,
I mean, 1 through 6, there's no, if they're healthy,
there's no competition.
There's no team that can match that.
Yeah.
And maybe they've got a couple guys that are a little ticked off. Jalen and
like playing with a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah. Tatum and Brown. Just from the Olympic fallout, I think
they both have something to prove. I mean,
but one of the reasons it's so hard to repeat this day and age is because of the summer schedule. They play so late, and then they went to the Olympics.
Yeah.
And 3 of them.
3 of them did.
So, yeah.
Yeah. If they remain healthy, I think there's no competition. Right. Moving along, we have the New York Knicks. These guys are also a Stone Cold Semi-Lock for me.
Correct.
I think they have the second best roster, not just in the Eastern Conference, in the NBA, with these new acquisitions. I like what they did we had said they had to get rid of Randall. They're going to have to make a decision about Randall. They flipped him and DiVincenzo for, I think, a really good return in Cat.
Yeah, Cat... The only thing is, Cat's not a center. He doesn't like playing the 5. He's not an elite defender. I don't know that they need that from him.
Yes.
It's different than what they've had in the past.
But they have Mitchell Robinson on in the backup center. So you need a defensive-minded center.
If he's ever healthy, yeah.
It's true. But, I mean, I don't think defense is the big concern for the Knicks with those wings they have.
Yeah, I mean, you can't find 2 better wing defenders, and it's clear. Okay, you got Brown, you got Tatum. That was the plan. And you've got a guy in Brunson who is a sleeper MVP candidate.
Yeah, 100%. But my issue, I think, right now, based off preseason and these couple games, is how McHale's fitting offensively.
He had a very good second game.
Okay, but that first game, his new jumper is...
I've heard a lot about that. Yeah.
It's awful. Have you seen it?
No, I know, but like I said, he had 20-some in his second game. And
they all did. They had like 5 guys in 20.
Yeah, it's Josh Hart. I mean, they have to take time to fit.
Yeah, I mean, I still think they have the second best roster in the NBA. They have decent depth. They have a great starting 5. And they have them pretty solidly in that first tier. Moving on, we have the Toronto Raptors. So where do you have the Raptors?
This is a tough one. They're in that fourth category.
They suck.
I mean, they do. I think they want to suck. Look, like you pointed out earlier, they've got three very solid NBA players.
Yeah.
Barnes is
an all-star.
Is borderline all-star. Quickly is very good. Barrett is like a modern day Harrison Barnes. Maybe doesn't shoot as well as Barnes, but a complimentary third scorer, maybe Tobias Harris, that type of kid. But they lack so much.
Yeah, everything else. I also have them in the we suck tier, and I mean, just looking at the roster, like we said, they have those three guys, but nothing really else. Their offseason acquisition, I mean, they drafted Jacoby Walter, Jamal Shed in the second round. I like the Shed pick. Jacoby doesn't really. I mean, Grady Dick, if he makes a jump, he was the 8th overall pick last year. He didn't have a great rookie year. But just looking at the rest of their roster, there's not a lot of, and they also have Bruce Brown, which they made the trade deadline last year.
Yeah, well, Bruce Brown's just renting.
Yeah.
It's a matter of time before Denver says
he's making $23 million, by the way.
Yeah, it's not terrible for a 3-and-D guy.
I mean, that's Scotty obviously still on the rookie. He's making 10. But looking at the roster, they're not bad enough to be in the capture the flag tier, but they're in a place you don't want to be, which is in,
we're not going to make the playoffs.
We're not going to make the playoffs, but we're not going to have a great lottery pick.
Toronto winners are long.
Toronto winners are long.
The problem is they don't have a way out.
Yeah, there's nothing.
There's no tradable assets. You're not trading Quickly or Barnes because they're cheap and they're young.
Yeah.
Grady Dick is another asset.
He's not a great asset at this point.
Yeah. So Podol, I think the only team that likes Podol is Toronto, and Barrett is a Canadian. I mean, unless Vancouver comes back in the picture.
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of in how the similar spot to the Chicago Bulls, what we've been mentioning with like this mediocrity that's just like in the middle of two spots that you don't want to be in. Next team we have the Brooklyn Nets.
If they're not the worst team in the league, they're very close.
Up there. We both have them to capture the flag tier. There is not anything really redeemable about this roster. Going through it, they have Cam Thomas, which is he can score the ball, but he's never going to be the main guy on a playoff team.
I gotta give them a lot of credit to go from having 3 Hall of Famers, really
first ballot
Hall of Famers and then
in 2.5 years,
and then having the wherewithal to blow it up. Really, really well done. They recaptured their draft pick, but unfortunately, there's just nothing there.
Yeah,
and they could still move from Cam Johnson, and even Claxton if they had to.
Yeah, I mean they just signed Claxton to a pretty nice deal. He's making $27 million. But I mean, looking at this roster, this is. I think this is the worst roster in the NBA. I mean, you're paying Ben Simmons $40 million to give you 6 points a game.
This is the last year they're paying him $40 million.
This is
NBL. I hear you knocking.
Or retirement.
Yeah. But they can move from Cam Johnson at least.
Yeah, they do have a lot of people like Bogdanovich. He can play.
Bogdanovich, yeah.
And he's not getting paid that much, so it wouldn't be hard to move. But yeah, I mean, this is a horrible roster.
Intentionally.
Yeah, they did a great job.
Yeah, intentionally.
Yeah. Cooper Flag in that black and white jersey might go crazy. Next, final team in the Atlantic Division, we have the 76ers. And like I said, I wasn't going to base my ranking off what had happened in the regular season with no Joel Embiid or Paul George playing. They're 0-3, I think, right now. But I have them in the second tier, the semi-pretender contender.
Yeah.
Do you have them?
Agreed, yeah. At some point, those guys are going to get healthy. How long they're going to stay healthy?
Yeah, that's the big question.
Maxey is going to carry a big load, and last year he showed he could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, when those 3 guys are healthy, it's a scary team.
Yeah, 100%. But like we said, health is the question.
Yeah.
PG is like, some could say he's the wing version of Joel Embiid in terms of health.
Or the wing version of Kawhi Leonard.
But just like last year, James Harden is the guard version of Joel Embiid in terms of health. Like, yeah, when they're healthy, they're electric, but health is, and they're also very old. They're starting an 35-year-old Eric Gordon. They have some nice pieces though with Kelly Oubre, Jared McCain. I like the draft pick. They signed Caleb Martin to a pretty cheap deal where he got scammed.
They have Drummond.
They got Drummond as a backup center, which
how old's Drummond?
He's only 31.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Been in the league for a very long time.
Their overall acquisition strategy this summer was excellent.
Yeah, they had a really good offseason, I believe.
Yeah, I just think they were hurt. Paul George is an imperfect player for them, given Embiid.
Yeah.
I mean, not from playing, not from ability.
No, but from the
health.
availability. Yeah, because
exactly.
Maxi's going to have to carry a very large load this season.
Yeah.
But when they're healthy, they're definitely a playoff team, and they could, they're one of those teams if healthy could, potentially make a run at the Celtics or the Knicks.
Yeah.
They have some good personnel.
I think they're the only team that, without a major trade, the only team that can make that claim, if healthy.
I think we might get to one of those.
Right.
But we'll go to the Central Division now, and this wasn't the team that I was referencing, but it is the Cleveland Cavaliers, which I have in the second tier. Where do you have them?
I have them also in the second tier.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they're a good team. We've seen in the past 2 years that they've had D-Mitch. They'll make it to the semifinals of the Eastern Conference. But
I think they're a very good regular season team, which is why I have them here.
yeah.
I hate their roster fit. I don't know how Garland and Mitchell are going to continue to coexist.
Well, they have been.
Or Allen and Mobley. Individually, the pieces are good.
Yeah.
They still don't have a shooter.
Max Strus, man.
They still don't have
Come on.
a shooter. One guy is not enough.
Yeah. Well, D-Mitch can shoot it.
Yeah, no, he can get hot. He doesn't shoot a very efficient percentage.
For his volume, I think he's pretty good.
Yeah, and so talent, yeah, it's there. It's just mesh.
Yeah.
And then the coaching change didn't sit well with me.
Yeah, I don't know why they let go of Bickerstaff, but they did get Kenny Atkinson.
Yeah,
he's a good NBA coach.
Yeah, he's a good NBA coach. Guy most resembling a hobo.
Kind of looks like you right now.
He's getting scruffy.
But yeah, so we both have them in that second tier. Now, the team that I think, like I mentioned, the Bucks. They are perhaps in terms of name value or talent, the second most talented team. You have Giannis and Dame.
Right.
I mean, those are the two guys where it's like in the Eastern Conference, well, shoot, they got a shot with anybody.
Can you name me more than one bench player?
A.J. Johnson.
Okay.
And their other draft pick, who I really like, Tyler
Smith.
Yeah, Tyler Smith.
They are...
Yeah, no, their depth and they're old. They have issues, 100%, and that's why I have them in the second tier, not the first tier.
Yeah, if everything catches fire, of course. You've got a perennial MVP candidate. You
have two, essentially. Just one
Dame
hasn't won it.
Dame, the problem is teams now know how to exploit Dame.
Well,
that's to attack defensively,
yeah,
right?
But offensively, you can't guard Dame.
And Middleton is his health that scares the heck out of me. I don't know how Lopez continues to,
be a solid,
exceed expectations.
Yeah. He's 36. Middleton's 33. Dame is
34. Where's
Dame at? Dame's 34.
Yeah.
Giannis is about to turn 30. Bobby Portis is about to turn 30.
But what if? And also, I the coaching change. Whether you like AJ Griffin or not, that's not the point. The point is, Doc Rivers. You get to a certain number of years in the league
where you know what you are,
and you know who you are, you know what you are, and maybe players start to tune you out.
Yeah.
And the real critical question: if this thing implodes, if there's a major injury, or they continue to play the way they did under Doc, wither Giannis, does he knock on the door and say, "I want out now"?
I find that really hard to see. I think Giannis is one of those guys where he's like, I can like very easily see him retiring in Milwaukee.
Good.
I think he's got a great personality for a superstar. He's not a diva really.
No, he's very likable.
Yeah. And I mean, it's hard to the coaching is a big question there, but like to say that they haven't given him a good roster every year. I mean, they gave him Dame Lillard.
Yeah, it's sort of at what expense? I think the Suns are seeing it. Some other teams are seeing it.
Yeah, but they also, I mean, they employ his brother.
yeah.
Like Milwaukee treats him right.
No, it's not Milwaukee. It's at some point Giannis has to say, "Look, I'm head and shoulders above everybody." Dame, career-wise, no, but now.
No, Dame had a great season. I had a good season.
Had a good season. They still don't probably utilize that pick and roll enough.
No.
So we'll see. They're a good team.
But the thing with Dame, like, there's not gonna be a drop off this year. Like, he's 34, but his game doesn't rely on explosion.
True. Fair.
I mean, he was in a dunk contest his rookie year, but still.
Yeah.
But yeah, we disagreed yet?
No.
Okay. Well, we might only make one tier list for the video.
I think we're gonna just start to disagree.
Okay. Pacers, where you got them?
Here's where we're gonna disagree.
Okay.
I have them in the third tier.
Okay. Why?
Well, somebody has to be there.
Yeah, I agree, but they were the Eastern Conference
I know.
runner-ups.
They got extremely fortunate in many regards. Look, offensively, Rick Carlisle and that team are smoking.
Yeah.
They get back Mathurin to add to a full season of Siakam. It's the other side of the ball. Defensively, they are brutal. I mean, this is the old school Denver Nuggets, the Mike D'Antoni Suns. Score fast and hope the other team doesn't score as much. They got to the finals, but the Knicks, come on. I think I had a couple minutes in there for the Knicks.
They're broken.
Yeah. So, yes, they could. I mean, they're the class of the third tier, and I could easily see them being second tier where you probably have them.
Yeah, I have them in second tier. It's just based off last year and also with a healthy Mathurin, with a full season of Siakam, I think they're going to be better.
Okay.
I like their roster construction. I agree with you. The defense is bad, but they have a scheme that they stick to. And for the regular season, at least, it's going to work.
They know who they are.
I know who they are, but like regular season, because it's a large sample size, it's the mean of like having like the number one offense, number two offense is going to outweigh how bad their defense is. Yeah, in a playoff setting, 7 games or whatever, but
it was really a choice between them or Orlando, and in this case, and I'm not sold, but that's kind of where I came down.
Yeah. All right, but next we have the Bulls.
Yeah.
We got the Bulls, man.
They are a we suck team.
I have them in the play-in potential.
Okay.
We have mentioned how they are mediocre and they do not have a direction with their roster.
Yeah.
Multiple episodes on this channel. We were alluded to it in this episode. But at the end of the day, they have a good amount of talent where it's like they could be that 10 seed.
Who? As the New Day says, who?
Zach LaVine.
Is not the same player he was.
He's 29 years old.
Yeah, he's not the same.
All right. Kobe White. Great year last year.
Good player.
They still have Vooch, who's not good. Patrick Williams is okay. Lonzo Ball is back. That's true. Lonzo's back.
Patrick Williams?
Lonzo's back. Josh Giddey.
Yeah.
That's a 10 seed, dude.
Could be.
Guarantee they'll be better than the Nets.
That we definitely agree on.
Also, playing potential doesn't mean you're 6 seed, or 7 seed. Playing potential means you're
could be the 10th seed.
Yeah.
The issue is it's well known. First of all, okay, Who is shooting?
Josh Giddey.
No. No, that's the wrong answer. Levine is a inefficient.
Lonzo's actually not bad.
Yeah, but he's not going to be
Matas
ready
Bruzelis
for a while. He did play last night in a blowout loss. No. And the problem is they can't move on from their two biggest contracts.
Yeah.
Maybe Vucevic if somebody gets hurt out there, but I think
he's old, he's washed.
I think you'd rather have the kid in Washington. Valanciunas. He's cheaper.
Yeah, that guy's like 32.
Yeah. I just don't think the Bulls know they suck.
Yeah, I mean, they think they're like, oh, we can do it this year. This is our year. Year 7 of the Zach LaVine experiment.
Our tourists. Let's just stop there because I think there's an H in there somewhere. He's like, yeah, we're good. We got Zach. He said the same thing.
Yeah.
Zach LaVine, Lonzo Ball, Giddey, Kobe White. Come on.
Yeah. Adama Sanogo, that's a national. They have winning experience on this team.
They do. Yeah.
But yeah, you have them 4, I have them 3, but we both agreed they're not good. Final team in the Central, we have the Pistons.
Yeah.
Where are the Pistons going to be for you?
They are capturing that flag.
They have a very good chance of capturing that flag.
I don't think they have the best chance. I would say of the 3 teams I have in that bottom tier, I think they have the worst.
But they still have a good chance.
Yes.
What did you think of their offseason acquisitions of Malik Beasley, of Tobias Harris, Tim Hardaway Jr.?
Yeah.
But
No,
I'm saying from a GM perspective, that doesn't help you capture the flag, does it?
It doesn't help you capture the flag. It does give you potential assets to move on.
Yeah, but it also, it also hurts your young guy development.
Correct.
I don't understand that.
And even with those additions, now Beasley's a heck of a shooter. Hardaway from year to year can be a good shooter.
Yeah.
Harris has even shot the ball well. So I think they kind of addressed their shooting woes, but it's sort of like, why? You're not ready to win.
Yeah. So why block the development of those
right.
young guys on your roster?
I mean, you're going to hurt Ivy. Tell me if you know who he is as an NBA player. Cade Cunningham, okay.
Yeah, Cade.
Cade's a solid player. Is he an elite guy? Not yet.
TBD.
Yeah, still. So you need to see those two, and then
Thompson.
And then Thompson. You got guys that are going to clog up.
Yeah.
It's just,
Jalen Duren.
I'm going to have this.
But Ron Holland, that's your fifth. No, I'm saying that's your 5th overall pick that you put someone in front of him.
I'm going to have this conversation about the Rockets.
They have the same exact issue. They're better.
Except they're better.
They're a lot better.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I agree with you. Pretty solidly in that capture the flag division. Final division in the Eastern Conference, we have the Southeast. We'll start out with the Hawks. Where do you have the Hawks?
I have the Hawks in the solidly in the play-in potential.
100%. As they've been for the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I was looking at their roster when making my notes, and I said, what was their return for the DeJounte Murray trade? We said they got Dyson Daniels, and they have a couple picks.
Yeah.
That doesn't help them win now. But then again, they haven't been trying to win now for a couple of years. They've been keep running it back.
Yeah, but they've changed a little. They've acknowledged, hey, we can't run Murray and Young out there together. So at least they know that. For me, they have 3 different generations.
Yeah.
They're
on 3 different timelines.
Yeah, and it's head scratching. Reece Shea has shown glimmers, but he's not ready.
Yeah.
It's going to be Johnson's team.
Eventually, but they still have Trae Young in his prime.
Yeah, it's a head scratcher.
And then they have a couple guys towards, Bogey is 32, Clint Capella is 30. They're not old, but they're, not young guns.
I would trade Capella. I think he has
Who?
Value. Well, let's say if Robinson doesn't come back to the Knicks, they don't have a lot left.
But Capella's making $22 million.
Yeah, you're not going to tell me the Lakers call and offer.
That would be a classic Lakers move right there. Getting Clint Capella.
Yeah.
This moves the needle for them.
It does a little. Yeah. They're not good.
Who's next for us? Yeah, we both had them playing potential.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic.
Yeah, and this was the other team. I think they're well constructed. They're not well constructed. Let me back up. They still don't have a shooter, and KCP doesn't change that. I think KCP is a luxury for this team because they're not on the cusp of winning it all. They're a very good regular season team because they have durable, young, cheap players. Suggs had a career year.
Resurgence, yeah. I would like to say one thing.
Yes.
I've just realized we have not been going through the divisions alphabetically.
No, I didn't want to call you out.
I know you like to do that.
I was like, when Brooklyn came up fourth, I was like, are you going like...
Yeah. So, just for our viewers, if you're still watching, I apologize. But, yeah, going back to the Magic, last year, obviously, they had the spacing issue. And like you said, KCB helps that, and he also provides a nice veteran presence. I really like Paolo Banchero. I think like he could not turn into an MVP candidate, but an MVP caliber player this year. Especially with how he was in the playoffs last year. He was like 28 in his first ever playoff series.
Yeah, but when a guy comes out and says, I don't want to be the distributor, I don't want to be the creator.
Who said that?
Banchero.
When?
The end of the offseason, or the start of the offseason. And then you don't do anything to address it. And what my issue with them is, I don't like their guards.
Well, they got Suggs, they got Anthony, they got Anthony Black.
Who's not going to see the court much.
Anthony Black? No, he plays for them.
He trended up, but preseason he wasn't getting a ton of burn.
Gary Harris.
Yeah.
Your boy, Tristan Da Silva. They got your boy.
Yeah. My guy. Yeah, and they're a good team.
Yeah, they're a good team. But the Banchero Franz Wagner punch.
Very good.
Yeah, I mean, I have them in the semi-contender pretender. I think they could be as high as a 4th seed this year, potentially.
Yeah, that's where we have them.
Yeah.
Right.
Coming up next, we have the 305, the Miami Heat. Yay, playing potential.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. The Heat have been running it back every year for the past 5 years.
My word of the day for the Heat this season is tumultuous. There was a lot of criticism internally and locally that Riley didn't do anything. But what you fail to see is, number one, there wasn't much they could do. And two, they took their shot with Terry Rozier. Now, we can argue, is Terry Rozier the best guy to be your third, fourth star? Maybe not. They've got talent. It's just a question of health, commitment to the regular season, and then do they have an extra gear?
Yeah. But it's just like, as Miami fans, you see what the Celtics are doing, and those have been like, our perennial rival year after year. And then compared to what we've been doing, like the trajectories just aren't on the same planet.
No, it seems like the Heat's run is ending, and it, I don't know, sure, build around Bam, but then...
Well, Jimmy's on the last year of his contract.
Yeah.
And, the whole Bam's been shooting threes, which that would be great for everyone if he can add that element to his game. But it's just like, the question isn't Bam. The question is just pieces around Bam, Jimmy's health.
By the way, if you're a former NBA player, a former couple-time NBA champion, and you have a radio show...
You do.
No. I'm not going to call the guy out by name. And you say the Miami Heat can't shoot threes, you just haven't been paying attention.
Yeah, I
Duncan Robinson, Hero shoots it decently, Rozier shoots it decently.
But it's not like
Bam
this isn't like a shooting team. I don't look at this team and I say, wow, their strength is shooting.
But I'm also not saying, oh, you're the last year's Orlando Magic. No.
Yeah, but they're not. They're middle of the line. But yeah, I'm just looking at this roster, seeing familiar names, and I just nothing moves me. I think we'll be the 7th seed.
It is pretty interesting that early in the season they've started Jovic and they're bringing Jaquez off the bench.
Yeah, they really like Jovic. Jaime was a surprise last year. We'll see, an older college player, how much of a leap he can take.
Yeah.
But if our season is relying on Jaime Jaquez's development. Yeah, well, we both have him playing potential. Sucks, but it is what it is. Moving on, the Hornets. Where do you have the Hornets?
I have them in the fourth tier.
Yeah.
The Wee Sucks.
But the thing about the Hornets, man, they suck, but they're a fun team to watch suck.
Yeah.
Pause. Wow.
You went full Diddy there.
Full Diddy again.
There's our short, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
But LaMelo obviously wasn't healthy this year, but LaMelo in his first 2-3 games this season has been great to watch.
Yes.
He plays like he's at the Y.
Yeah, and he's so much better than anybody out there.
Yeah, exactly. He plays
he's
like
dishing behind the back. And
he plays like he's the D1 player coming home for the summer and just is at his local Y.
Yeah.
He shoots threes off one legs. He just tween behind the back, like electric to watch. But the thing about these guys, they have pieces. They have young pieces too. Brandon Miller.
Looks like he might make that second-year leap.
Yeah, they got Brandon Miller. Trey Mann could be if the Hornets can be a playoff team. Trey Mann could win the Sixth Man of the Year.
Yeah, fair.
They have Mark Williams.
I like Williams, but he didn't. I think he was hurt a lot last year. Fun,
but not gonna be. At best, they got some playing potential.
Michael Jordan was like, "I'm getting out. I'm cashing in.
Yeah.
Forget this."
But yeah, LaMelo's fun to watch, man.
Yeah.
And the final team,
those Wizards
of the Eastern Conference, we're gonna end with a bang.
Yeah.
And this is alphabetical. The Washington Wizards.
Yes.
They got 2 W's in their name, but 0 on the season. We both have them.
Oh,
they're capturing that flag.
But another team that thinks, hey, we don't suck.
No, I think everyone knows in Washington they suck. They got Kyle Kuzma out here retiring his tunnel fits to focus on basketball. They have Marvin Bagley apparently. I didn't know that.
Sadiq
Bey.
They had a choice.
Malcolm Brogdon. Wow, they had a loaded team.
I'm going to get to Brogdon in a second. They had a choice going into the start of the season.
Yeah.
To sign 2 of the following 3 players: Johnny Davis,
nice,
Patrick Baldwin,
nice,
or some other guy, and they chose Baldwin and Davis.
Yeah.
And it's like, why?
Yeah. You know what they should do? They should trade Bilal Coulibaly to the Spurs. Get that French connection.
The Sixers trade Yabusele.
Nah. The Sixers have Yabusele?
Yes.
Oh, they're tier 1, man.
Yeah. The problem with this team is they actually have
they have talent, like
young assets.
Young talent. Yeah, 100%.
They could trade Valanciunas because he's on a very friendly contract.
Yeah, he's making just under 10.
10 a year, and then Kyle Kuzma provides a service. He's again sort of a better shooting Tobias Harris, maybe not as athletic.
Not so far this year. Bro's been the king of the air ball.
But he's got a track record. He's a proven.
Proven. He'll put up 20 on a trash team. They have some players.
By the way, they gave up draft picks to get Brogdon. Can I just point out that
is like the most backward move of
all
time.
they had to do is re-sign Tyus Jones.
Yeah.
Tyus got $1 million, like the vet minimum.
Yeah. And he could have been the guy to feed Sar, to teach Bub Carrington.
And George, yeah. The future's not entirely bleak here.
Yeah.
But good Lord, if they get Cooper Flag, then they're going to think, they're 2 years away from being 2 years away.
Yeah. I think Cooper Flag is not hoping that they...
If I'm Malcolm Brogdon, I'm going on hunger strike.
Yeah.
Like, get me out of here.
Cooper, yeah. I'm 31, and I'm stuck in this city.
It's like, I went from Boston
to
Portland.
They traded me right before I got that ring.
Washington,
If Cooper Flag's gonna see like, oh, the Wizards are the favorites to win the #1 pick,
he might hold out.
I might be like, Ace Bailey, you got it.
Yeah.
I'm missing like my next 10 shots.
Tell everybody. I may have an ACL tear, not sure.
Yeah, my ankle's been really acting up recently.
And my back. Oof. Can't carry a whole city like Bradley Beal did.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is Kuzma didn't want to leave.
Because he's making $23 million to jack up shots.
But he's gonna make $23 million on a winning team. The
No,
money
he's
doesn't
not.
change.
No winning team is like, you know who we need? Kuz. He is a perfect guy for us. Like, bro, this guy has done, no offense to Kyle Kuzma, nothing. He is the empty stats king. He does have a ring with the Lakers. Oh, I forgot. He's with LeBron James.
You're saying Jordan Poole isn't the empty stat king?
No, Jordan Poole actively contributed, was like the third leading scorer on that Warriors team. Granted, he's trash now because Draymond punched him in the face and knocked out all of his talent.
Yeah. When they traded him, it was like, there's a reason we traded you, Jordan. It's because we saw how bad you suck.
No, they chose Draymond over him.
Well, they did.
And now Draymond already got a couple technicals to start the year.
A couple.
I think he has just one.
Yeah, calm down.
Next, when this video goes out and they play another game,
Probably,
it'll age.
Yeah.
But that was our tier list.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments below what you think of this NBA tiers, like, you know, the capture the flag, the we suck. This video will go out soon. They'll hit you with our Western Conference preview, ideally pretty soon, before the season gets too far underway. And make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Peace. 305 out.
Of the playoffs.